If you are currently watching this and in pain and you don't yeah, there's a whole other way of life, you know? And it's so freaking sad to see so many people hurt, you know? Shit. Yeah, I mean, losing someone, like, you end up, I'm on the other side of it, you know? And I have to keep my shit together, you know? So I have to be very consistent and diligent about how I work on myself.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the #1 mental health and addiction podcast, the Hopeaholics. I am your girl, Natalie Eva Marie, and these are my boys.
I'm Chad.
Hi, I'm Shane.
Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and follow us on our socials and wherever you get your podcasts.
Got a new episode dropping every Monday and Thursday. Please come check it out.
This episode is brought to you by the Infinity Group. You guys, if you or a loved one is suffering, please call us today. The number is right here on the screen. We are here for you 24/7. Now, let's get into the episode.
Preston, welcome to the Hopeaholics Podcast.
Yeah, bro.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, welcome.
Turn Shane down.
I'm down. I'm
Like-
talking like this.
I know, but you're not going to stay that way. So I'd rather just do it right now.
Nip it in the bud.
Yes.
Can you turn Shane down in all of our headphones, please?
Just mute. Just mute.
Because
Can you
Fine,
mute?
I
Can you mute Shane's mic?
I want to hear myself. No, fuck that. I can't hear anything now. It's bullshit.
I mean,
It's just mute.
Shane's kind of like been off the
I feel-
rails the last.
That's because I'm off the Xannies.
I feel like you're not turned down at all.
I'm off the Xannies. That's
the Xannies.
enough.
I think you
Don't
just-
turn me down.
No, just in my ears. Because then it
Don't turn me down.
Turn
Why
me
you don't like
down,
rejection,
dude.
buddy?
I don't mind rejection.
Yeah, I know. We know that.
Yeah.
Just on to the next one.
my God, I
on to
love
the
this.
next
This
one.
is
That's
so
it.
good.
I can't hear a fucking word.
Well, Preston, what's happening, my man?
What's going on?
I have a question.
Yeah.
I want to start deep.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. I want to start deep
Go for it.
because some things really affect me, and I can't help but think about them at times and get really sad. You know, and Preston,
Yeah.
you're a happy guy.
Mm-hmm.
You do a lot of stuff. You have a lot of friends. You're a connector. You're a people person. You jump out of planes. You like to have excitement. You like to live life to its fullest. And you had 2 family members kill themselves.
Yeah.
And I try to think of that, you know, if it was my brother and my dad, and I try to think, like, would I have guilt? I would think, was I there? Did I not? You know, like a lot of things would go through my head where I would self-sabotage, maybe self-sabotage myself by thinking, wow, I could have done this, I could have done that. How did you handle that?
Ooh, right into it.
I
Okay.
know.
Yeah. Well, my dad committed suicide in 2015, December 21st.
So how old were you?
I would have been 24.
Wow.
And, you know, throughout my whole life, you know, my dad, I mean, a good portion of it, he was always very expressive about it and said that, you know, he was going to do it. And
Oh, wow.
so it was just, you know, it was just kind of like the matter of time almost.
So he struggled openly with like a mental
Yeah.
illness of
bipolar. And, you know, he was on a lot of, I don't know.
Meds?
Yeah, meds.
Yeah.
And then, you know, he liked to party. And,
Okay.
But yeah, so my dad, you know, I got sober 4/4/14, and you know, my dad passed at the end of that year,
Wow.
and that was pretty intense. You know, my brother and I were really close. Like, you couldn't get any closer than my brother and I. you
Older
know.
or younger?
Older. He was probably 6 years older
Okay.
than me. And
Is it just you and him?
Just him and I.
Okay.
And you know, it was I don't know, it was, my brother and I got really, really close, even closer after that, because it's just him and I. We had no one to rely on. My brother and I owned our own business, you know, right from the get-go. As soon as we got, like, I mean, I was very newly sober when we first started our first company too.
Okay.
So we're still trying to figure that all out at the same time, and then also a business. But yeah, with my dad, I got a phone call. I was at the gym, and this cop called and got my number somehow, and he said, Preston, well, your dad passed away. And I was like, fuck. I was like, how? And he's like, well, I was like, just tell me. He's like, well, he hung himself. And so my brother and I had to go down to my dad's house. You know, it was in Ranch Mirage by La Quinta. and we had to go and get his clothes for his funeral. But they left everything, you know, like when you hang yourself, you know, you poop yourself.
Yep.
So I saw the rope.
Oh
What
my
he
God.
leaned into is a picture of him, very successful. My dad had a really successful concrete company. And he was like a front page of Architecture Digest. And so, you know, it was, I know apparently a letter he wrote to me, but my brother never gave it to me for some reason. But, you know, we walked in there and I saw, you know, it was my dad, he hung himself with the thing that you tie around your waist with the robe, you know, that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And just must have just been on his knees and leaned forward and,
Oh my God.
and did that. And we walked in there and saw that and like the stain on the floor, you know, and that type of stuff. And then, my brother and I were just kind of a wreck and in shock. And my brother went in the closet to get clothes, but I went and laid in my dad's bed and it was like kind of still, you know, like folded open from him sleeping in it, and I went and laid in it and just kind of sat there and smelt them and knew I was like, this is the last little smell or anything I would get this of my dad. And you know, my brother's like, what are you doing? I was like, I don't know, I'm just sitting here, man. And then we ended up, you know, getting his clothes and, you know, use that for the funeral. But yeah, and then, you know, my brother passed in August of 2019 of a fentanyl overdose. And that was another tough one. And when you said, you know, how did I handle that? Well, you know, I got the phone call at 8 o'clock at night, and we were so energetically connected that I knew he passed. We didn't know where he was, but I can just feel him gone, you know. And I just knew. I was like, he just wasn't here. And so I live down in Newport Beach on the peninsula, and I do, you know, still to this day, I go and run the sand and jump in the ocean. It's my morning routine. Well, I woke up crying and took off on a run, as I do. Put my board shorts on, barefoot, took off, crying and running, and just this is what I knew. And after the end of my run, I went to the ocean, and I sat there, and I was like watching my like tears go into the ocean. And I told my brother, I was like, look, dude, I was like, I want to do something really good with my life, and I can go, you know, in two different directions here. And I was like, I love you, but I have to leave you here right now. Like, I have to take care of myself. And I chose a positive path. And after that moment, I kind of really channeled all of that energy and pain into something positive, you know. And I went after my dreams and just started taking off and trying everything. Yeah. So it was pretty, it's still to this day, like you said, I'm happy and cheerful, which majority of the time I am, but I got my struggles, you know, after all this loss and losing that, you're never the same. You know, I have a lot of dreams that are challenging to wake up and start my day with. And I'm not the same, you know, I never will be, but I just figured out a way to use it. And, you know, when people talk, I want to help people. I remember actually was on the couch with you. This was maybe a year ago or something like that, but I briefly chatted with you on the couch, Chad, and I remember you saying you had an obsession almost with helping people, and I totally agree with that. You know, when I'm very, very serious about this because I understand during this temporary experience that we're having here, we don't know truly what happens after this.
Yeah.
That I can alter someone's path. You know, I have that gift, maybe, whatever I've been given to inspire someone to go down this path instead of that one. And I've seen it time and time again. So I just, I'm really, really passionate about what I do, you know?
I love that.
Yeah. So.
Because it totally easily could have spun you in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Of destruction and tragedy as well.
Yeah.
Where was your mom?
My mom lives out in Ranch Mirage area, so yeah, she's out there. I mean, still to this day, but I mean, she lives right next to where my dad and my brother. You know, my brother's in the wall. My dad's there. My yaya, it's like Greek for grandma, but they're all there, and she's like right around the corner from it. So every time she goes to the grocery store, my brother's like, boom, you know. So she still has her struggles, of course, too.
Yeah.
But
How is your mom doing? So it's really hard to lose a child.
Man, you know, it's tough. Like, she doesn't like to think about it. She thinks that we were talking the other day, and she says it as this if she's like if he's on vacation.
Yeah.
You know, she can't go there because it makes her freak out.
Sure.
You know? And my mom, you know, will drink to numb the pain and everything like that. So, yeah.
Were your parents married when your dad took his own life?
No, they divorced when I was about 8.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but they were best friends. On my dad's thing, it says loving son, father, and ex-husband.
That's
they
hilarious.
were still buds. So,
I mean, that's
good. That's
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the most it's a very rare thing, right? When a husband and wife get divorced. But man, the best thing you can do for the children, if that is the case, if the two of you just aren't making it, is to be good to each other for the child.
yeah.
And like my ex-wife and I, we still own a company together, and you know, my son never really suffered because we co-parented really well. We got along really good. We were really good friends until I got remarried. And then she got remarried finally. And finally got rid of my last name.
yeah.
I think that's like solid, and that's. I mean, I can't say what it should be because I have no idea. I haven't experienced that, so I can't really say too much on that situation.
Yeah.
But I would assume it would be like that because you have a child,
Yeah.
so you both are putting aside whatever
Most
between
people
you.
don't do
I know,
that.
I know.
They make the kid the pawn.
Suffer, yeah.
I mean,
Which is sad.
I pulled up talking to a really good friend of mine I've known since I was like 12. And they have this beautiful little girl. She's probably 2.5, 3 years old, but him and his wife are struggling right now. And it's sad to see,
Yeah, I know.
but I'm like, you can't say, you don't give up,
Right.
because I'm like, have you tried therapy? Have you really tried going inward from both your sides?
Sure.
Individually, which is important, and then maybe together. And I mean, you have to truly try that, because I've seen it time and time again where relationships completely change.
Yeah.
But you didn't fully immerse yourself in therapy and going inward and looking at your side of the street. So I'm like,
Totally.
dude, don't give up. Try this, I mean, open up, because until you stuff all this stuff down, no matter what it is, it explodes,
For sure.
So yeah, vocalizing things is important.
Did your brother, because you were sober in 2014, so did he ever try to kind of join you on the sobriety journey?
Oh, he was. So this is the cool part. So power, maybe Instagram. My brother got sober maybe 2 years before me.
Oh, okay.
And so him and I used together, ran the streets, and were a part of some pretty crazy stuff. My brother was a wild man, and so I ended up having to have my brother's back in whatever scenario. So we ended up being real scrappy guys. My brothers loved to fight, and so I would always have to back my brother up. I'm at a party, someone looked at him wrong. I'm like, fuck, dude.
Here we go again.
Shit,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I always was in something, My brother pulls up, and there's all these guns in the back of the truck. I'm like, dude, what? I robbed this dude, and I got these AKs. I'm like, dude, I'm this sweet little kid.
Yeah.
I was such a sweet kid, but I ended up just following him because he was in this wild path.
Yeah.
So anyways, my brother gets his life together before me, and he ended up, he was a case manager at a county funded place in San Bernardino, Gibson House. Shout out Gibson House.
Yeah.
They're badass. And he would always text me, hey P, you ready? I'm like, no, not yet, and he would continue to try. And I tried treatment a lot, multiple times, but I kept going to county funded places where they didn't have detox. So I had cold turkey at sweating it out with guys that just got out of prison or whatever it may be, right? And so this last time, I was sitting there at my dad's casita, and I got on my knees, and I was withdrawing, and I was like, God, I'm so done. I don't even know about God. I never was raised around anything, but I was just like, I'm so done. I'm tired. And my brother, he's like, hey, they got medical detoxes now. I was like, wait, what's that? So before that, to back up, is I saw my brother going out on Instagram. I got Instagram, and I'm watching him. He's getting all ripped and hanging out with pretty girls and out in Lake Havasu having fun. I'm like, dude, I want that life. He made it look so attractive. I followed him anywhere.
Yeah.
But then the moment I saw his life, looks so fun. I was like, yeah, I'm done. Like, your life looks amazing, and I want that. And I think that's the power of influence, you know, on that.
Yeah,
stuff.
that's the
That's a
like
program,
the program, you know,
Yeah.
Totally.
based on attraction rather than promotion.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and
Attraction.
what he did was always just a subtle little, hey,
Yep, a nudge.
this
That's
is, you know, and that's really what we do.
Oh, totally.
Because the addict's truly not ready. And now, granted, I do believe in interventions. I do want to say that.
Totally.
I do believe that you can pull the rug out from somebody,
Sure.
and you can raise their bottom, and you can help them get sober faster.
Yeah.
But an addict's not ready until an addict's ready.
Totally.
You know, but whatever that thing is that gets you ready. I mean, for me, the last time it was 19 charges and a bail agent kicking in my front door because I didn't show up to court. And the thought that, you know, I'm probably going to prison.
Yeah.
And that was the intervention that I needed. God intervened on me because I always say he sent his angels in the form of a bail agent.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
What took your brother out?
Fentanyl.
So when he was sober for how long before he started to pick up again?
Well, he started chipping away a little bit. So, you know, the last time that I saw him, you know, we would play volleyball with our clients.
Okay.
You know, because my brother and I, we started a couple detoxes in 2016 or something like that. But anyways, we're out playing volleyball and it was sunset. And my brother came out and had like the chicken skin, you know, coming off of opiates. And you could tell he just wasn't feeling good. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's up, dude? You know, I've been partying and I'm not feeling good right now. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, Dust, you know? And so I'm about to go off on a fishing trip, you know, up near Mammoth, go fishing, where I grew up, you know, doing a lot of that with my dad and uncle. Well, my brother went to go off on a fishing trip as well, but out deep sea fishing with our doctor and the guy that worked with us, and I just didn't want to be around him. You know, at that time, I kind of started to outgrow him
Okay.
a year previous to this, and didn't want to be around him or his wife. His wife was a little sketchy. I didn't like her because come to find out she was partying with him as well.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah. So the last day that I saw him was we got done playing volleyball with the clients, and we walked to our trucks, and we were about to get in, and I was like, here, give me a hug. And he gave me this little dumb hug. But I was like, come here. And I gave him a big hug, smacked him on his butt cheeks, and, you know.
A Shane hug.
Yeah, Shane hug.
Yeah.
I was like, I love you, dude. And then we got into our trucks, and I'm about to back out, and he rolls his window down with this, like, really deep stare. And he's like, Pete. I was like, well, he's like, I love you. I was like, I love you too, man. And I drove around, you know, back down PCH, and I looked at his truck parked there. I was like, that was really weird. And yeah, what happened was he got back from our fishing trip, had dinner, and must have done some fentanyl in his truck before going back out to the desert, and fell asleep in his truck. Yeah. You know, and the thing is that, you know, I've lost many people, as a lot of us probably have, to fentanyl, right? But I don't blame the fentanyl, you know, at all. It's just a stationary thing. He had to pick that thing up to do it. So I never blame the fentanyl. I just like to bring more awareness about it and how dangerous it is.
For sure.
You know? So, yeah, I mean, he made a mistake. He knew better. You know? And also, on the other side, I wouldn't be the man that I am today, you know, with all these experiences that I've gone through, you know? I mean, I can be of more service because I've been exposed to so many different things on so many different levels,
For sure.
you know? So, yeah.
I know, it's crazy. But it just goes to show that it's, regardless of time had or not had, it's that quick.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's just in a blink of an eye, because you have somebody, an individual that led you to the life that you have today,
Yeah.
initially starting out, and then owning, even immersed into treatment, owning detox, and seeing other people's lives change. And then if we are not diligent with our own sobriety and journey ourselves, we're easily go right back to old behavior and bad habits and can pick up instantly.
Yeah, that's the big thing of, you know, what I think a mentor of mine told me, you are your rituals and habits.
Totally.
You know, and I program myself to a certain point to where I know I can handle a lot, you know. And I recently, in July, I was telling you, Shane, that I got diagnosed with type 1, or you too, Chad?
Yeah.
Type 1.5 diabetes. So it just came on in July.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, with this little angel over here. You know, and that was a time, though, that, you know, I thought it was just stress. You know, I was losing all this weight. I was losing a lot of fat. So I thought I was getting ripped. Like taking pictures, but like I was dying.
Yeah.
My body wasn't.
It's like eating itself.
It was eating itself. And I thought I was getting all lean and whatever, you know, but so fatigued. And we went on this road trip. I was about to launch this other little business. And I was like, let's go on a road trip. And I'd be drinking 2 gallons of water a day.
And you're peeing like crazy.
You know, and even peed the bed one time. Sorry, honey. And it actually hit me in the face.
I got a
There, I
story.
woke up and sprayed me in
Bro,
the face.
I got a story. When you're done, I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you my shit story.
All right.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I have no choice now.
All right, we'll have to go on
This
that.
was
It's a poop story.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm on this road trip up Highway 395. It's one of my little spiritual journey spots that I love to go. And we head up there, and every body of water, a river, a lake, I would immerse myself in it, sitting in the cold water up at Convict Lake, you know, and just sitting there like, God, what's wrong with me? Like, am I this stressed out? Am I fucked up?
Yeah.
And I kept going in every river, everything. And so we went on our last little part, before we were going back home, we went to Yosemite, you know, El Cap, where they did free solo. So I'm out there in this river with my girl and our puppy there, and I'm under the water. I got a picture. I'm holding onto this rock underwater, like, God, what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
You know, and I got out of the water, and my body's like, we're dying. And we ended up going to an urgent care where this guy gave me some bullshit. Like, here's a antibacterial or whatever. I don't know what the heck it was. But anyways, she ended up diagnosing me on Google.
Shut
She's
up.
like, yeah, you got ketones
my
in your
gosh,
pee,
yeah.
you got X, Y, and Z. So we went to an ICU. And I brought that in there. I was like, my girl thinks I'm going into diabetic ketoacidosis.
Totally. Which will kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I go in there, and they're like, yeah, like, you're diabetic. I'm like, what? So
Wild.
yeah, it was crazy. But
Wow.
after this experience, you know, it was another bump in the road that, you know, I'm a very active person.
Sure.
And after I got out of the hospital, you know, I went from 160, I weighed in there, and I went up to 220 or 230, blew up with water, liver failure, kidney was failing. But if I didn't go in the hospital, I just would have fell asleep, you know, would die in my sleep, you know?
Yep.
So afterwards, I go to the hospital, couldn't see, was half blind. All this weight on me, not feeling good. My whole life changed. And I'm driving around town, shooting insulin in my leg every day, driving down the road 10, 12 shots a day. And I was like, fuck, my whole life just freaking changed right now. And we ended up getting terzepatide, Manjaro. A friend of hers sent me down some Manjaro. He's like, hey, I've been diabetic for 40 years. Try this. Well, I took that shot, and I went from 10 to 12 shots of insulin a day to not doing a shot of insulin for the first 30 days. And I'm continuously on that. And I do corrections here and there.
Sure.
But, I mean, it gave me my life back. You know?
It's crazy you said that because it happened to my girlfriend too with PCOS.
What's that?
Basically it's like this, for women, it's how do you know how to say the full, do you know what PCOS, the full term? Yeah, exactly. Polycystic ovarian, what?
Ovarian syndrome.
Yes, syndrome.
Yeah.
A woman thing, but
Yeah.
you'll end up, it basically is your glucose levels as well, that are affected by it. So fatigue, weight gain, you can't drop. It's just kind of nightmarish. But then she was given, I I think at the time it was like semaglutide, but same. It
Yeah.
affects your insulin levels and how you respond, how your body responds.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Yeah. I mean, it gave me my life back. you
Hers
know.
too.
Yeah, trizipatide is a real game changer though, because it has the it's
GL1P
the
or
GIP, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's
GLP-1.
GLP-1.
It's a GLP-1 and a GIP, and that's like, but they it's weird though.
it has the
they just
two
put
instead of the one.
They just put my dad only. They put my dad recently on semaglutide, and my dad's been diabetic. I should have them kind of. I mean, my dad's a doctor too, so like they, and my mom's a nurse,
Yeah.
so they should be questioning why not trizipatide.
Yeah.
Mongiorno. You know that Mongiorno is Monjoro or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Monjaro
Yeah.
is actually just the device that
I know.
that injects the trizipatide into your body,
I know.
and they market it like that's the drug.
Yeah.
And
I
they
didn't know
do
that
work.
until you told me that.
Isn't that crazy? That is crazy.
I do this. I say this because I want people to know that that our pharmaceutical companies are full of shit. They're FOS. I diagnose all pharmaceutical companies with FOS. They're full of shit, and yeah. So they don't even own the rights to the actual peptide trizipatide.
Yeah. Does
no,
anyone?
that's what they're trying to
Nobody
do. Though.
does.
Okay.
That's why
So
they're
you
that's
can't.
trying to take peptides off the market and make
Because
them.
the reason why is
Yeah, 'cause they're not
peptides are
getting
healing
money.
people.
Exactly.
And making them better, and then guess what? They don't need.
They don't need to go see the doctor
don't
and
need
get
to-
prescribed 700,000 pills because they
Yep.
took care of it themselves by.
You know how many
preventative
people
health.
go on trizipatide and no longer need their
Exactly.
high blood pressure medicine? They need way less of their insulin. You know that. Some people that were
They don't need a
diabetic
statin.
aren't diabetic anymore.
Yeah.
Heart
mean,
health is better.
Heart health is better.
Absolutely.
cholesterol.
Add a few other peptides in there, and Shane will rattle those off for us.
Hell yeah, I
From
will.
NAD.
Hell yeah, NAD, the
BPC.
GHKCU is going to be really good for your skin.
Oh my god, that one.
Glutathione. For your liver.
Glutathione
You
for your
really
liver?
need glutathione.
I take it.
You do.
Yeah.
Inject in your butt.
No, I did, but now it's just the oral. But I did
Oh, really?
inject it for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
I didn't even know glutathione
Yeah.
was oral.
It's not that
done.
effective orally.
Everything's not effective.
Yeah.
We gotta shoot.
Well,
Yeah.
well, let's not go that far.
But with that. Okay.
Well, I'm just saying.
I mean, on
Nobody,
that side.
nobody wants to
he was
know.
being
This is-
general. I was
this-
just protecting myself here.
This is the
I
wrong
want to ask you
podcast.
something. When you peed, how long did you sit there until you told your girlfriend
Peed?
in bed?
Oh no, I was sleeping and it hit my face.
So you peed, you woke up right away?
Yeah,
Did
'cause
you
I got
sit in
peed.
it? Did you
He
sit in
peed
it?
on
No, I
him.
got
You
up.
You
peed
got
on
right
his
away.
face.
Not the bad pee.
Jeez.
No, I'm just saying.
He peed on his face.
Yeah,
too.
like that's
But
what
you
woke
know
him
that.
up.
Yes, I understand.
He
What
peed on
happened
his
is
face
this.
though because he had.
I'm
a bone.
sitting in bed at night. I'm sitting in bed at night. I had a little bit of gas. I thought I let a
Sorry,
little
Dad.
gas. I pooped myself.
You did
Ew.
When?
today or?
No, pure water. So I
Recently?
was really sick. No, I was with my girlfriend in college. I was really
Oh.
sick,
Oh
and
my
I thought I
God.
was letting a little gas out.
It was literally.
And I lifted my cheek and I
50 years
pooped
ago.
in bed.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I pooped in bed.
40 years.
And I
Right?
sat in
Same.
bed with it
Like
for,
what?
I'm going to say an hour and a half.
Ew.
Was marinated with it?
I marinated with because
Why?
I didn't know what to tell my girlfriend.
You couldn't.
So you just
slide
let it
out?
like
I
stink?
couldn't
Just
slide
chill?
out because
It'd
no,
be stinking.
I was naked.
Ew.
I was
Was she
naked.
sleeping?
She was sleeping and I was naked.
Oh, you boo mooned
I
in
boo
the.
mooned the whole
Ew.
bed, bro. And I
Dirty
sat there
Totally
for
not
about an hour.
a good
And then I
story.
said, babe, we got a situation. We got a
You
situation.
know,
told
it's
her.
funny. She
She's
broke-
like,
she
"What?"
broke up with him the next day.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
like,
That
what?
moment.
That's a wrap.
Done, dude.
Bro,
Yeah, the moment she found out that you just
Fucking
sat in it for an hour and a
I didn't
half.
tell
Yeah.
her
You
that.
could have just.
I didn't tell her
Yeah.
that.
Wait, you just slid out? Like, did you
I
leave
didn't
the whole?
slide out.
mess?
I had to. I woke her
What
up
you should have done, bro, is
took me an hour.
slid out
and put her in it.
and been like, babe, what
Ew.
the hell, and like blamed it on her
Yeah, I
for.
could've.
Or put the dog up there.
I want to tell you what else.
Turkey.
So I think someone. You want to hear something terrible? I hear.
don't.
We wake up in the middle of the night, and I hear someone in the living room. And I go, babe, there's someone in the fucking condo. She goes, I know. I heard something too. I like, what should we do? So I threw out a can. I'm like, who's there? No one answered. Then I said, babe, I have an idea. You go first.
Of course, Chad has an idea.
I go,
Shane.
you go first. I go, if they kill you, I'll get them. If they're beating you up, I'll get them. But if I go first, he hits me in the back of the head. What are you going to do? He's going to rape and pillage you. That was my mental way of thinking. That was my way of, she didn't go though. I had to go first. Anyways, sorry I got sidetracked.
No.
How long has your journal?
Is that
Did it-
not amazing?
What?
The journal.
His poop story. No, I'm
That's
just
that's literally what I thought he was referring to.
Wasn't it a great
I'm like,
story,
what in
Natalie?
the world? I was like, I really hope that you're not asking me about how great of a story that was, because
No,
it wasn't.
It was terrible. Like it
Oh
was
my
literally.
God, it was horrible.
it was a good
I couldn't
story,
wait
Sam.
till it was over.
It
It was
sad,
it
sad.
was
It was
it
a
was a
sad
waste
night.
of like 3 minutes and 30
100%.
seconds of our podcast.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Guys, sorry for the last 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
we'll never
of
get
our
it back.
podcast.
But the journal is amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
I love it, and I'm so
Yeah.
excited. Thank you for not only for the gift, but
Oh, it
can
even has a
people
table of contents.
can people purchase this somewhere
Yeah,
as well?
theepicjournal.com.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Theepicjournal.com.
Yeah.
Difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations.
Zig
Shane.
Ziglar.
The best is yet to come.
Right?
Zig Ziglar is awesome.
I know.
Like, I don't know if people know how awesome Zig Ziglar is.
No.
I like his
Because
name.
a lot of people don't. I think isn't he like the OG of motivational speaking
One of them.
from like way back?
Yeah. One of them.
How far back does Zig Ziglar go? Does anybody know?
Oh, that'd be a good question. Honey, get on the Google.
Chat
Yeah.
GPT?
When did you start writing this, and when did you
Um,
finish it?
So my dad always said, I was fascinated with my dad because he would always write and always had his yellow pads and it was, my dad would say, if it's not in writing, it doesn't exist. And so once I got my life together, I started writing a lot, and it worked through my dad's scenario, all the different categories of life. And so I accumulated a lot of journals. And maybe this is probably 4 years ago. 4 years ago, someone gave me a journal called the 5-Minute Journal.
Yeah.
And I've never
Yeah.
seen guided journals before.
Totally.
So I have like a mentor of mine. He owns Skydive Elsinore. He's like a father figure to me. Shout out to Carl. Thank you, sir. He gets so much limelight when I do these podcasts. He's like, you got to come up with a new story, Preston. New guy. But he's one of these guys in my life that just says the right things at the right time, and a guy that I respect, you know? And so he gives me this this folder with screenshots of all of the captions that I wrote for one of my Instagrams. And then he's like, hey, you should write a book called, the Epic Journal and the Roadmap. And I was like, oh, cool. He kind of sat with it. And someone gave me this 5-minute journal, and then this light bulb moment came on, and I pulled all my journals out like a mad scientist, my whole office, and started putting this all together. And then I got everything to a certain point, and then I got stuck, and then I hired a publishing company and a writer and editor to help me fine tune it.
Right.
And then it's all like clinically approved. So working in behavioral health, I know a lot of clinicians, so I passed it around through the industry and they fine tuned it. And then it came out as better and better. And then my editors got a little upset with me because I kept making adjustments. Like, Preston, it's never going to be perfect.
Totally.
So eventually I just put it out. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when was the actual release moment? How long?
Maybe 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe 2021-ish, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Thanks.
I love it.
So, go ahead, Kate. You're still on.
No. I love it because I write every morning, but I hated to do it. And then now it's just like part of my routine, and I just do it because that's just how it works for me personally. But I feel like picking up something when you know that you want to try to journal or you want to write and you just don't know what to do, or like staring at a blank journal is rarely overwhelming to a lot of people, and not knowing where to start or what to do or what am I going to write about or whatever that goes through your mind. Having something that is just like you can pick it up and be kind of guided through that process, I think is essential.
That's why, I heard a lot of people not know how to write.
Right.
So by me, it was a mentor of mine. He founded Jamba Juice.
Oh, wow.
And then Kirk Perone, unfortunately, passed. But I got to work really closely with him. And I remember we were on a trip out in Cabo, and he didn't know how to write. Like, he's like, I'd love to start writing, but I don't know what different styles or how do I do this? And at that moment too, I was like, wait, at that level,
right.
You don't know certain ways to journal? So that was a big aha moment. And then along the way, a lot of people working with a lot of different clients over the years didn't know how to write. So my goal with this was, one, to learn how to design your life on pen and paper. Work through, you know, like I've had people that have passed, obviously, and business and relationships, you name it, on different ways to go and, you know, design things on life and work through different scenarios. You know, I think for me, I can't always call somebody if it's late at night. If I'm struggling with some scenario, I'll always have myself. And so my big goal with that was learning to become your own best friend.
100%.
You want to go and pull off anything or be this version of yourself, you have to learn to love yourself. And this is a guide on how to do so. So
I love it. I'm excited to dive into it myself.
Yeah.
I like it. It's fun. It's kind of funny because literally, like, I think it was yesterday. I was thinking, actually, it might have been this morning. It'd be trippy if it's probably this morning at the gym. I was thinking, man, I should. I want to change my routine a little bit, my morning routine. And I was like, before I turn the TV on, I think I want to start like maybe reading and doing a little writing.
Wow. Look at you.
Yeah.
That's
and now I
nice.
have this book, but I wanted to ask you because the epic journey. This is the epic journey.
Journal.
Yeah.
But you have a business that's the epic journey, right? And like when did you start doing like that type of stuff? Like especially like jumping out of the airplanes and stuff like that. When was that for you?
Well, while I was using, my drug of choice was heroin back in the day. I just ended up falling into it, following my brother again. You know, he did it, I did it, type of thing. So, but as I grew up racing dirt bikes, and I love BMX and skateboarding and all this stuff. And I would fantasize. I'd watch all these guys, you know, like that were my idols doing all these different sports. So once I got my life together, I had all this energy to go and learn these things. And I wanted to become one of those, you know? And so I started, I grew up doing some of this stuff, but once I got sober and got my life together, then I really got excited and just tried all these different sports, but, and became pretty good at a lot of them. And I took them pretty far. Motocross, I was hanging with some of the best of them until one of my mentors in that sport said, Preston, we get paid to do this stuff, dude. Like, you don't. Like, you're kind of pushing it now and looking at, we're all broken and we need lots of BPC 157.
Yeah.
But
I think it's probably illegal in the in most pro sports.
Yeah.
BPC.
Well, action sports, well, all my buddies use it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So I got hip with it from them. So,
Oh, yeah, it's already done.
yeah.
Good.
Negotiations have already started. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
about it, dude. Yeah, so I skydiving. So at my detox, they would graduate, and like if you came through my program, like it's not the last time I'm gonna see you, you know. So I thought it was really important to stay engaged with everyone. So when you graduate, we got to do all this fun stuff. I just did it. I just love to go and be the person that went and tried things and came back and told the story. You guys got to try this thing, and if I'm excited about something,
For sure.
I want to tell everyone about it. So I started skydiving, and amongst all these other different sports, but skydiving seems to be the most extreme one. And I went and did my first tandem probably 10 years ago, which is when you're attached to somebody.
Yeah.
Kept coming back to do these tandems, and one of these guys like, Preston, you just like sitting on another dude's laps, or are you going to get licensed? I'm like, wait, what? You can get licensed doing this? And one day, I didn't know anyone who did it. I just went out and got licensed maybe about 9 years ago. And again, like if I'm excited about any sport or hobby or adventure, I want to bring people to come out and experience. And working in treatment, like I have this constant flow of friends.
Yeah,
you know, like they get
totally.
sober and their life together, and you have friends that they just want to go do things. I'm no better than anyone. I'll go and hang out. I don't care. Like
Totally.
I want to go and show people life. That is maybe one of my gifts, and I love to put them on. And you come with me. And it's super fun. Skydiving is really fun. I think now we've taken like 1,500 people out.
You have?
Where do you do it?
Wow.
Skydive Elsinore.
Oh my God.
Skydive
so close.
Elsinore.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah.
You want to go?
Fuck it.
Would you do it?
Why not?
Nice.
No.
No.
I mean, I'd be like terrified and like probably.
Can you tandem with her?
Chad?
I wouldn't do it by myself.
No, you can't.
No,
do it
I'd
by
film.
Yeah.
You do tandem
No, but I'll jump out and film.
and film her.
Yeah,
That'd
yeah.
be awesome.
Yeah. I'd film it.
That'd be fucking awesome.
But yeah, then we
Let's
just
hook that up right away. Chad wants to go as well.
let's vlog it.
No, I don't.
No.
You ride the
No.
co-pilot seat though in the plane.
I'm scared of heights.
I mean, I'm scared
I'm
too.
scared of falling. I don't think my wife.
She's like she's taking a breath right now.
I mean, I'm gonna be.
But
honest,
like,
I'm gonna be honest,
that's the
though,
type of shit. I'm adrenaline. Like that's what I
I
love.
don't think that my wife or my CFO will allow me to jump.
Get a
My
good life
CFO,
insurance
neither one of them are like your life insurance policy is not
That good.
not good enough for you to jump out of an airplane.
Yeah.
Like my wife made me sell my motorcycles.
Yeah, that's smart.
That is kind of smart.
Yeah.
You're gonna lay
I
that
mean-
bitch down for sure.
Yeah. That's sketchy.
But and then you're
Because
like,
I
and then you
ride
could
my
be
Harley
paralyzed.
like I ride my dirt bike.
Yeah, it's a little. Yeah.
No, yeah.
And you gotta worry about because I'm on my phone. I'm not gonna lie when I'm driving.
No, totally, dude. I like literally. Well, one, I had an uncle that got paralyzed from a motorcycle, so that probably seeped into all of our heads when we were like little kids, and he lived with my parents. And then to see someone like life, and then all of a sudden in a
Totally.
halo, you know,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
pretty brutal. And then my brother had one when he was in Arizona, and then to obviously get to work faster, right? And then he had at least the wherewithal to, after I think he had it for maybe like 9 months, like, I probably should.
Give it up.
I had a crotch rocket and a Harley.
Yep, because it's only a matter of time. Think about how many times you guys that like on accident you kind of like swerve into
Here's
another.
the thing, though. I want to
Totally.
be very clear, though. People, if you are a motorcycle rider, you have to be aware that nobody sees you. You are
Yeah.
no. It is actually something that when you go to, if you go to any classes on motorcycle ride, street bike motorcycle riding to get your license, nobody sees a motorcycle.
Yeah.
But
They
they
don't-
forget when they're actually driving that
You can't
like
forget.
learn.
If you're a motorcycle rider, you can. That is something you can't forget.
No, you're saying the people in
Right, when
traffic.
Well, and how many times?
It doesn't matter if the person in traffic sees you or don't see
Yeah.
you.
You gotta
You have
assume.
to assume that they aren't going to see you.
Yeah.
But human nature, you know, you're dealing with like so many things, life on life terms, that your brain is somewhere. Let's say you get in a fight with like your girlfriend, right? You are all of a sudden thinking about her and what went down, as
Distracted.
opposed to exactly. And now you're on a bike and you're forgetting that no one sees you, bro.
Yeah.
No one sees
I do that
you.
with skydiving. I mean, my mentors in the sport, you know, before I jump, a lot of people that care about me out there, we all
Sure.
kind of care about each other. We're getting a little gnarly out there, but we always check in and like, hey, are you present? You know, and so when you get to a certain level of skydiving, like when you first start, you're having fun. You don't really skydiving is really fascinating because you have these seasons in it, like anything, but you have when you first get licensed, you're just having fun. You don't really know what you're doing,
Yeah.
like as far as certain styles of flying and stability, whatever. But then it comes to a certain point to where you can use it in this kind of spiritual sense.
Sure.
So I sit on the way up and I talk to people
Yeah.
that passed, or I sit and I breathe, and it's a really special spot for me to do it. And you have to be very present, you know, and yeah, I mean, it's just be extremely present with it, you know. I mean, you trust your gear,
Yeah.
but yeah, you just have to be very, very present with it. There's times that I've called off jumps because I was just like, my head's just not there. And
Smart.
I'm flying with a lot of people. I don't want to hurt them.
How many? What's the odds of your parachute not opening?
Well, you have two though, right?
Yeah, I have two.
The second one's not very good though.
No, it's really good. no, that one's
Oh my
better
gosh.
than. It's actually better.
It's better than the
Yeah,
first.
yeah, totally.
I thought the second one was like
Like a spare tire, a
yeah,
donut.
Yeah, the donut spare tire. It's like, bro, your first one didn't
God.
open up, but the spare tire,
Yeah,
you got this
you
one.
got 12 miles.
Yeah, you're gonna be coming in fast.
Don't
and
go
you-
over
you-
30
you-
miles
Yeah,
an hour.
exactly.
Probably
Don't go on the freeway.
Probably
Start flapping your fucking wings.
probably gonna break an ankle when you land, but you're you're gonna survive.
No, the odds of it. So I mean, I have buddies that have.
There was a
like,
thing in the paper a month, 2-3 months ago. Someone was tandem and they didn't open. They got squished.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was like 4 months ago, 5 months
Yeah.
ago.
And
That's,
they
that's no
literally
way-
like just didn't open, and they both
Imagine
took
you
the
fucking
ground.
putting on the sidewalk.
No, I mean the thing
Just
is
cruising
that
all of a sudden.
it
Horrible.
most
Damn.
likely, I mean it's when you
Freak
hit,
accident.
it's pretty.
Oh
quick.
yeah, you're done.
It's pretty.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
at
and
10 seconds though that you're fucking.
Well, I'd be
of
scared as
pain.
hell. Like, yeah, it's
Not
like
even.
the whole airplane thing. You know, the airplane going down. That's like
Yeah.
one of my biggest fears. Like,
Yeah,
an
let's not
airplane.
talk about it.
Yeah.
Shane's biggest.
I mean,
fear.
no, I look at it like this though. If it's your time, it's your time.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
If I'm going, I'm going.
How about that guy that his chute didn't open? He hit the ground. He bounced and he lived.
I didn't hear
What?
that.
I didn't hear
I
that.
gotta
Yeah,
Google
oh, yeah,
shit.
that's
I gotta
happened.
Google
Where?
that. No.
Where? Recent?
I feel like
Not recent. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I think that happens sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I've been in that sport after a certain amount of time. Like there's when you're around any sport and then you're around people at a certain level.
Yeah.
You know, it's different. And I have been fortunate enough to be around the one of a kinds in action sports world. And I had one buddy, Luke Aikens. Shout out Luke. Luke jumped out of an airplane and landed into a net with no parachute.
Yeah, I saw that.
Another
on TV.
one of my buddies flew.
Is that the
through-
one? I saw that.
Yeah, no,
that was
no.
for Red Bull.
No, he wasn't Red Bull. He is Red Bull now. Was he Red Bull? He might have been.
I
Red
saw some guy do that into
Bull. Yeah,
a
and then
no
Felix,
parachute.
Felix is the one. Another guy. He's the highest skydive in the world.
Yeah.
Like right
That was
below
Red
atmosphere.
Bull.
Yeah,
that was Red Bull.
I saw that one.
He had a mask on because he went so high.
Because he was so high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that.
If he wouldn't have had
So
oxygen,
these are your boys.
would've-
These are your friends.
Yeah, another buddy, Sebastian. Like I've trained with him. He's another Red Bull guy. That he used to fly F-16s. He's from Chile.
That's awesome.
And he's just a precise, badass dude. And he's the one that recently he flew through a volcano, which was super cool, like in and out of the volcano.
Wow.
And then another one he recently did went really viral, was that he was out jumping with us with like a wakeboard, kind of like a surfboard type deal. But he's being secretive. And then sure enough, I see a clip of him out in Dubai at this wave pool they have, the surf pools. And he jumps out and comes in hauling ass towards the wave, cuts his parachute away, and he surfs the wave. You know,
Nice.
And so these guys just end up
Fucking-
pushing the limits
yeah.
Yeah,
of.
bro.
It's just it's what,
Yeah,
what can I
there's-
do next?
Yeah.
Like
I've-
you got me, then I'm jumping out with my book for some
Fucking
reason.
awesome.
That's not the craziest stunt, but
How about so I mean you like that stuff obviously.
Yeah.
And I mean I kind of feel like I would, but not at this time in my life. I'm cool.
yeah,
But you know the flying suits.
yeah.
Have you ever done that?
No, I'm about to. That's one of my goals this year is to start wingsuiting. But
Yeah.
So, dude, it's crazy. One of our friends, that's what they do. They do, what's it called? It's literally like the, they look like a bird.
Wingsuiting.
But
You talking?
isn't that like a lot of bad things can happen?
You talking
Okay.
about them when they're in just a suit
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they jump off of cliffs and they.
Okay.
I mean,
They ride the wave.
It's wingsuiting no matter what. Like airplane, right? That's still wingsuiting. But when you're base jumping, it means
Base jumping.
Yeah,
Boom.
base
That's
is
what
building, antenna, structure, and earth.
it is. Yeah. These guys are like former like special operators.
Yeah.
And they're nuts.
Jumping off a cliff.
Yeah.
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 I mean
Where it's,
those
like,
ones.
illegal.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those ones seem scary to me because
You're so low
you're so
proximity.
and you're so close to the to the.
You're actually flying.
Clip a toe. You're
Yeah, you're fucked.
Or you don't gauge something correctly because there's
Right.
the
You're going so
places that
fast,
they're
too.
jumping out of is very narrow.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
how about those crazy climbers? Because I mean, you seem to like extreme stuff.
That-
but
Wait, do you call? Okay.
have you seen those extreme climbers that do the?
free solo.
Yeah, like up buildings.
No way.
Tripping.
I'm afraid of heights.
I am too.
Yeah. I know.
I'm deathly
I-
afraid of heights.
I wouldn't do that. I would need a
Shake.
parachute on. No way. No way. Yeah,
And
we
they're
were
ju-
out doing something in Joshua Tree and like it's a cliff and I'm like, ah.
That's hilarious.
But if I have a parachute, let's go. I'll jump out of helicopters and you name it, hot air balloons. But
when the door opens up and you look out, if you have your parachute on, you don't feel any like that.
it's game time. Let's go.
It's-
Hell yeah.
How about the first time?
It's still scary. No, I like if I take big breaks, like when you're very consistent or current with something.
Yeah.
Like I do a lot of free diving out here in Laguna, so you
Yeah.
hold your breath for a long time, and with
Where do you
these-
do that?
Laguna.
Like, what do you do?
So
How do you do it?
so you just you practice your breath.
Yep.
And then I wear weight and everything,
Uh-huh.
but you can get your mind to
So
this
good
certain
for,
state.
so good for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you can end up holding your breath for longer and longer, but when you're not consistent with it, your breath hold changes.
Gabby Reese and like Laird do that
Yeah.
at their place all the time too. With like
Is this
the-
underwater?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they're in like a pool.
Yeah, yeah.
This is like
Wait, do you go
deer.
by yourself doing that?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah. a little,
so
like,
there's
deep.
not like a class.
Oh no, this out in the ocean.
Oh,
with the
hell
fishes.
no.
Yeah.
I'm scared of the ocean.
yeah.
So on those ones, how long have you been able to get to holding your breath?
Probably like 3 minutes.
Wow, that's not
something
bad.
like that.
I could go like a minute.
You can go pretty far down too. The scary part is though,
80
is
feet.
you can get down to a certain spot though, and if you're if you're not ready for that, you could pass out.
Yeah.
and die.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
the
So what you got to do is there's when you have to double your time on the surface than when you're underneath, because you'll black out. Some of the carbon monoxide build
Yeah.
up and stuff like that. So yeah, you got to train for it and just know what you're doing.
I don't even want to. Snorkeling scares me.
Me too. I guess
Have you ever been like
Yeah, I'm
had
so
like
close
those
to the shore.
freaking those eels coming at you and you're
They're
like
mean.
snorkeling, dude? Fuck that.
How
I
about
got,
this?
I got my scuba diving license.
How, what?
And you,
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
scuba dive
heck
down to
no.
100 feet, 150
No
feet.
way.
I went
Heck yeah.
when?
all my life.
What is
Last
this
15
weird
years,
shit that
yeah.
he tells
Yeah, I
us? That
know.
he just. Like,
I even
pops
got my
out?
wife to do scuba diving, and we went together once in Hawaii. We went scuba dive with the sharks.
Would you wear your little one piece, little bikini?
No,
doing
no,
it?
we went into the cage, and I
He
have a
does,
picture of it.
he
I
wears
patted the
that.
shark. I patted the shark.
Oh, you did?
I petted the shark as he was going by. Freaked me out.
Oh, for sure.
Freaked me right out.
It wasn't a great white.
Yeah, it was right in Hawaii, bro. A big fucking great. Yeah, bro. I got pictures of it.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know, if a great white's coming at you, you punch
Punch
it
it
in
the
the
nose?
face.
I don't think so.
In the nose, yeah.
I would totally be like, I'm getting eaten.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
How
I'd give
are you
in.
gonna
I'd give
reach
in at
it?
that time.
How are
You
you
just
gonna-
give in. You just accept it.
yeah.
Sharks coming at you. you
Well,
go,
there's a tactic when you're like, let's say a waterman, when you understand the ocean, how everything behaves. Like,
yeah.
if you run away, they're used to that. They're not used to being afraid of anything.
Right.
So you got to hold your ground.
Yeah, you got to hold your ground.
Yeah, because I was out diving recently, and a buddy of mine, or not a buddy of mine, a guy that I know, he's a friend of a friend, but got a shot of a 6 or 7 foot taupe shark, which aggressive shark, or can be. It was a big shark. It was like 100 feet out from me. So they're out there. So when I'm diving, I'm like, get my mind right, because that stuff is going to happen. And like when I have a cutaway is what they call it with skydiving. Like eventually your parachute's not going to be okay, and you just get rid of it. So you prepare yourself while you're in the moment. Like, all right, if I'm diving, I'm down here and I see a shark. Okay, I'll handle this, because everything's very like telepathic and under the water. I used to spearfish a lot until I connected with the fish, and then I stopped.
Was it Nemo?
No, it was a sheep's head. So it's like a really good fish that we have out here. It's really good. But I had a shot lined up with it, and then it just came right towards me, and I'm like, we kind of bonded in a way. I was like, you know what, bud, I'm gonna let you live today. And so I stopped spearfishing.
How crazy.
So when I would dive with the spear gun, I'm a predator. I'm putting that energy off. But when I go without the gun, I'm just a friend. So now I go down there and hang out. But you can see how fish behave. You can see how everything starts to behave. But
Weird.
I like drift diving.
yeah.
I like drifting. That's the best.
What's
You
that?
can start when you start like
Oh,
point
I heard
A.
that. Yeah, yeah.
And there's a heavy current.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't have to do anything.
I've
You
heard
can
of
just
that.
sit down. You're down like 40, 50 feet, and you
Yeah.
just push like 5 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's a really nice.
Wasn't
I
it
heard of that.
Nirvana that said, though, it's okay to eat fish because they don't have any feelings? You know
I don't
that?
know that song.
What?
I don't know that song.
You don't know Nirvana?
I know Nirvana.
I don't know that one
I
either.
don't know that one.
It's
I know.
okay to eat fish. All right, I'll play it for you guys after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you did not do justice to
I
the song at all.
No?
Sorry. No, bro.
Preston?
It was an amazing chat.
Yeah.
Oh,
See?
It was
God.
beautiful.
I'll give you that $5 after.
Thank you. Thank you.
Whatever it is.
So you got the journal.
Yeah.
What are you doing today? Like, what are you
Uh,
doing? Like, what's your life consist of today?
Business-wise? Or
Yeah,
what?
business-wise, spiritually, fun, love, life, everything, all of it. I want to everything.
I like that question.
Yeah.
Right now, I am, let's say, on the spiritual side. Well, right now, I'm seeing. This will probably maybe help some other folks. I don't know, but watching these behaviors in myself that are fixable, that can be affect some
Yeah.
things around me.
Mhm.
So I'm in a really good spot in life right now, but there are some little behaviors that I need to correct. So one, I'm gonna go back into therapy, which I'm excited to do. Just like, if I'm great now, well, how much better could I be? And so on that side, I think that is I get excited for that to get better, to feel better.
Yeah.
And then on sports side, like I said, like I'm always been very consistent with all my sports, and I've always kind of want to push it and see what else I can do. I have some other visions in line that I want to do some cooler, funner, bigger things, get a little gnarly, that's always
Yeah.
fun to look forward to. And then on the business side, so I mean, right now, getting back to working one-on-one with people.
Sure.
There was a point when I sold my last company, and it fucked me up. It was like pretty bad. It was a weird thing. So I wouldn't work one-on-one with people, because if I'm working with you, I'm rolling with you, you know, and I stopped doing that for a bit because my cup wasn't completely full, you know, and so now that I'm filled up, now I can actually truly help someone,
Sure.
you know, and so that I'm doing again. And then I partnered up with Mark that you guys had on recently,
yeah.
Pacific Shores. So
Nice.
that. And then my book, and and just being open-minded to whatever else comes, you know.
That's awesome.
I love business. That's all I've grown up with and grew up with. My dad was an entrepreneur. I dropped out of high school. I started my first clothing company at 17.
Oh, wow.
So I hated school, but I love watching my dad pull up in the job sites, you know, come up in his big truck, tunes jamming, he has long hair. Just the way he moved and creating visions from paper, and just, I loved it. So I dropped out of school and started actually working with my dad. But my whole life, I've just built my own stuff, and I love business. I love turning visions into reality, and yeah. So that's just like a huge part of me. A really creative person.
How do you maintain your current sobriety?
Just the same things. I mean, like, it's just, I would say, doing something that's fulfilling and purposeful. Writing's a big part. Like using heroin or it's just not a thing. I did after I got out of the hospital. It was a really tough time in my life. So you can maybe call that a relapse if you want. I don't care. I don't know a name for it, but I was dying, and I couldn't see or move, and I lost everything. So they prescribed me all these good pills, and I grabbed them for a short amount of time it was like Xanax and all these other crazy names of shit I didn't even know. So for a short amount of time, I did not want to feel. A lot of my journey, I've always gone inward. When I've lost someone, or a business failed, or this, or relationship, whatever, I go off, and I love mushrooms, like mushroom trips, and that has been a big part of my life. So I would, over the course, maybe every year, I would go do a big experience and really go inward. And this time when that happened, when I lost everything that meant something to me, I didn't want to feel. So it was like a couple weeks, right? But I just don't remember any of it. And I was out at the beach, and my brother was really coming through. People were calling me, saying they had dreams of him. Like, just, he was super powerful of how he was coming through. And I was sitting at the beach where I go every morning, and I was like, Preston, I was like, dude, this doesn't work for you, bro. Like, this is not, it's just not a part of you anymore. So I stopped it. So, and then continued, because I couldn't even run.
Yeah.
So like I've been a athlete my whole life, so I can run a long distance and do a lot of triathlons and whatever. Well, after this whole experience, I couldn't breathe anymore. I couldn't run 100 feet. So I, started, I stopped with all the meds they gave me, and then I started pushing it.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, dude, I do the same thing with my brother, my dad, you name it. And I started doing my sand runs. I'd get 100 feet out of breath. All right, tomorrow I'm going to double that. And then I just kept pushing it physically. And all of a sudden, all the weight started coming off. I started getting very spiritual again, and went back to what I've known, because this wasn't my first go around with some hard times. So I've like been here many times. I'm like, dude, you already know what to do. It's second nature. You tried this this Xanax. Yep. It didn't fit, and I've tried them a couple times, but like, it just doesn't work. It just does, you know what I mean? Like, I never knock anyone for doing that stuff, but sometimes someone needs that stuff, and I totally understand. But it just doesn't fit. I like to feel, and yeah, I don't know. It's a really interesting. It was a really interesting experience because I also recently, back in the day, I did a lot of steroids. Right, I was huge.
For sure.
But I did them irresponsibly, and I'm getting some, what do they call it?
Oh, yeah.
Gyno.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So I got these knots
huge.
taken out of my chichis.
Good.
And
so many guys do it.
Yeah, and I did. It was very, very irresponsible. It's like when you first get sober, a lot of guys, they go and get a vape. a Bumble account, probably a tattoo,
Yeah.
some steroids.
True.
It's kind
But a lot of the times when they're incorporating the steroids
Yeah.
into it, they don't realize like the gyno that can possibly
They have
follow if they
all
are
the other
doing it right.
things.
Yeah.
Totally.
And then all of a sudden they have like bitch.
What's
tits.
gyno?
It's basically where
you get that big knot underneath.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's when you
It's
get,
like bitch tits,
It's
basically
it's
like
what happens.
like you get boobs.
Yeah.
What happens
Essentially, a little bit.
oftentimes is people use the steroids, and part of it when it breaks down into testosterone, it also breaks down into estrogen. So if your estrogen levels get too high,
so
you
you're not
start
taking
to-
an estrogen blocker,
and then you're not taking an estrogen blocker, you start to get
or you have
boobies like a woman.
areolas. All of a sudden will like totally.
Your
Get
your
huge, as
your
big as
nipples
your
will
nipples,
get
yeah.
sensitive.
Yeah.
It's
Suck.
And
then
like it's
thing.
crazy to see.
And I was doing a
thing.
I was doing a race.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a shot man come towards the finish line, and this big old
Boobs
knot.
jiggling.
way.
Dude, I got a titty just dropping.
No.
Yeah.
I was like, that thing's got to go.
Yeah.
But I would feel it was sensitive.
Sure.
Anyway, so I got this taken out, and they gave me pain meds.
Oh, okay.
Right? So I ended up taking the pain meds, and I was telling her, I was like, where I went out to dinner, I was like, I got to get this out. I hated something that I thought I used to like.
Sure.
I took them, and I couldn't wait for them to get out of me. We're out at dinner. I'm like, oh man, like just my normal state. Like I feel freaking amazing, and and so it just is no longer a thing for me anymore.
Sure.
You know, my thing is just making sure like my relationship with myself is good.
Yep.
And that I can show up for her and people, and so that's
Yourself.
on the mental health side is
Yeah.
kind of making sure I'm dialed in.
That's huge, and I think it's so important because regardless of anybody's journey, of stumbling a little bit or having a surgery or having like those little moments, it's like hearing someone like yourself is important because you went through certain scenarios and then you still got back on the horse of doing the next right best thing for yourself.
Yeah.
Like I think anybody, or at least for myself, when you initially get introduced, whether it's like the rooms or you go into treatment, all of a sudden the seed is planted. So it's in our subconscious. So even when we do pick up, or at least when I picked up again, it never felt the same regardless, because already now I have like the consciousness of the program and like what could potentially lead me to a better life, yet it sits in your brain somewhere. And I think that's why it doesn't sit. You have already had some type of spiritual something,
Yeah.
because we've usually hit our knees and said, God, please take this away. So he's working within us, trying to pull us back to him.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's the thing where I love taking people off to. I feel when I've taken so many people out to very unique experiences and made them feel a type of way about life.
Yes.
So I'm like, come with me, and
Yep.
I'm gonna roll with you, but I want you to feel how vibrant, how amazing life feels
Totally.
right now, and I plant that seed. They don't know what the heck I'm doing.
Totally.
This is like I heard yogis, when they go and practice, they will do something to their students to intentionally piss them off, and then later on, like, how'd you feel? You reacted. So my thing is, I've been doing this for a little bit, that I'm conscious enough that I'm putting them in a scenario where I'm planting a seed. So that way, if they do ever have a slip or anything like that, it's not the same, because they remember how badass life
Totally.
felt. So I'm just out there planting seeds.
Amazing. No, for sure. I'm
Yeah.
the same right there.
Totally.
I just trying to plant some seeds, maybe put some water on those bad boys, and hopefully they blossom.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
all we can do.
The ripple effect, like you were just
It's
saying.
true.
man.
It's contagious.
So true. It's huge.
We're all meant for greatness.
Yeah. You're meant for greatness.
We're all meant for greatness, bro. We all have the ability to change someone's life.
oh sorry.
We all have the ability to change someone's life
Absolutely.
if we take the
man.
time
Totally.
and we care enough.
Yeah.
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 Shannon's actually meant for greatness.
Huh.
I mean, anybody that'll do what he did, what he showed you earlier. I mean, that shit's funny. It's fucking, your little viral video. I think that shit's, I welcome that. I welcome that.
Totally,
Ever since
dude.
we saw that Steve-O video, I'm like,
you're
bro,
open. You're up. You're
Oh, yeah, I
back.
need to look at that again.
I'm back.
You're back.
I remember when I met you with a buddy a couple of times, like you, like I told you the other day, dude, like you're like a unicorn. You are a very, very special human.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Like you
I appreciate
uplift the room.
I always felt a certain bond with you, but I didn't like what's his name.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's his name?
And that turned.
Let's
know,
go
I
there.
really need to know who what's his name is.
You know what's his name?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't like what's his name, and you were a little with what's his name.
Yeah.
So I let it go. I let
Yeah.
our relationship go.
Yeah. It's dangerous having some. Okay, and we
Yeah.
go into that. So I feel like
Wonder how-
people around you are like nutrients, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
There
it's
you
very
go.
true.
So
There you go.
If you want to be around high,
Yeah.
vibrational
Yes,
beings,
yes.
Yeah.
when you have someone that isn't,
No, this guy was
Ugh.
not. Yeah, it took a minute to find out.
and then me too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, then obviously your intuition and it was correct.
yeah, 100%.
I'm assuming. I don't know who
100%.
this person is, so I don't mean anything
100%
the negative.
correct.
Doesn't mean
But-
I don't love them.
No, of
bad.
course.
No, we love 'em.
It's just not on the
But
same
love 'em.
like
Just-
wavelength and
Can't- yeah.
frequency that you're wanting to
And
go
not
to.
willing to change.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's.
Believe it.
I will tell you something interesting that I learned about like people and frequencies, and I didn't really know anything about frequencies until, you know, when I started listening to motivational videos and stuff like that. Some people though, like,
Which was when though, Chad? Because Chad, like, you got like a huge thing going on, and I was one of my things I was writing in last night. Like, when did you start this? Because you are that guy. What you've pulled off, and the man that you are and become, and the impact that you have, like, dude, a force. I mean, obviously you have an amazing team, but like, when did you just recently started doing motivational and got to a certain point?
yeah, like probably like after my son-in-law died.
Couple
is
years?
when I got
Yeah.
when I really got
When we
into
started
that. I
this.
mean, I've always been positive, in a uplifting type person, and I have a heart of gold.
Yeah.
But I was really mean to myself.
Mm.
And I'm not as mean to myself anymore. I give myself a lot of slack today,
Grace.
a lot of grace.
How'd that change though?
Um,
Simultaneously being mean to yourself, like you said, but also,
loving to others.
yeah,
I said, yeah.
I feel
I
like
get
that's
that,
like
though.
the
Yeah, I've
totally
been there.
like that's a true blue,
yeah.
straight up addict alcoholic. Like
Yeah.
we're the meanest to ourselves, but we would never speak the way that we speak to ourselves to another human being.
And
It's
I
wild.
would, and I honestly, I would never let anybody else talk to me the way
Totally.
that I talk to me. Like, I mean, I beat myself up, man. But what's funny is, so as I've learned about this stuff, though, is people. There's a lot of people. Just when you got here, there was different people here in this place, and every single person had but not everybody is on the same frequency, right? But like, I could, sit with one group and their frequency is this, and they add value to my life. And then I come in here and I do this, or I go out there and there was my wife and my kids and they're on a totally different, and they bring a different value to my life. And your frequency, this podcast right here, right now, where we're at, has brought a lot of value to my life, which actually brought me to the spot right now where I'm like, wow, all these different frequencies. Because what Shane just said about that guy, and I have no idea who the guy is, and then what you said made me really realize that I can have all these people, different people's frequency, because that guy might add value to your life. Might not add value to Shane's life. But maybe without you, that guy adds a different value to Shane's life.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally true. Yeah, because there's moments when there was value, and I think, when, no, totally. I think
People outgrow each other, bro. That's just how
And
life happens. Sometimes you start growing in different ways, and you have to separate.
Well,
and
there's
you
different
come back
relationships.
together. That's just how
Seasons.
life
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
Completely.
And reasons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it, bro.
yeah.
That's
That's
it.
why it's cool, the dynamic, because I've done a fair amount of podcasts, and I like to go in and check everyone out and kind of get a pulse on it and energetically, and I don't know if I was telling you this or what, but you guys, your dynamic is so well put together, and you guys are having fun, and it's very inspiring. I'm very fortunate to even be invited on to come here, but just as an observer back there, I've always been an observer and kind of pump people up. They don't even know what's happening, I think what you guys are doing is attracting so much good stuff, and it's a beautiful thing.
It really is.
I
agree.
will
really
tell
fun.
you that the three of us sit in this room for the same common reason, and it has it has nothing to do with anything except helping another person not die and get better.
Yeah.
Like that's literally why we sit on here
Yeah.
and spend our time. None of us are like sitting around going, boy, I hope I get famous from this, or I hope that, I hope I get a bunch of views and clicks and we could honestly give it a shit less. What we care about is that person that is out there that hears this, because one person will hear this podcast, they'll DM us.
Yeah, man.
And Shane, the loving guy that he is, will call them back.
Mm-hmm.
And he will talk them off of a ledge.
Yeah,
And
or try to.
That's the power. I said, like my brother's story, like the ripple effect.
Oh, okay.
I watch my brother on social media can be a really powerful
Yes.
tool. You watch someone's life, and it could be so inspiring, and you want that, and you wouldn't be able to impact that person unless you put something like this together.
Oh, no way.
And then someone changed my life. I had the impact. I was the person that became someone that could impact a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And you would have just passed me by back in the day in the shadows of society, but then I became this, and I became someone that I'm proud of, someone that has built things and put things together that have changed people's lives. Like I'm a nobody. I still feel like I'm a nobody, but I became this vessel that was able to inspire people and to help, but this all came from me watching a video of my brother.
Totally.
So someone watching this, if you are currently struggling, like I just had another friend commit suicide, and he had this mask on, right? A mask to where I left the meeting. I'm like, damn, I need to work on myself. He's got it going on. Well, not too long after he kills himself, right? And if you are currently watching this and in pain, and you don't, yeah, there's a whole other way of life, and it's so freaking sad to see so many people hurt, shit. Yeah, I mean, losing someone, like you end up, I'm on the other side of it, and I have to keep my shit together, so I have to be very consistent and diligent about how I work on myself, and if you're out there struggling, call these guys. There's a whole other way of life that you have no idea. You just have to put a little effort in and listen to someone else. Your best thinking got to you where you are currently at. You're probably on your phone right now, maybe watching this, about to go pop a pill or shoot some dope. Call someone. What you guys are doing is so special, and you're giving people a voice. And your facility is amazing. I actually have someone here that I put over here that she is just thriving, and she's a special one for sure. But she's giving me feedback, and just hearing from that one person, she absolutely loves what you guys are doing. So it's a special thing. And call these people.
We didn't interrupt on purpose. I know we were all quiet because we want to play that. We want to mark that, and we want to put that on.
Yeah.
That was good. That whole
But that's the
45
whole
seconds
point,
or minute,
is
that was
like
beautiful.
being
There's a couple
vulnerable
minutes
like
of it,
yourself,
yeah.
like what you just did. That's huge, because all of us think that we're the unicorn that's
Yeah.
suffering by ourselves, and we're not.
No.
Like the whole point of God brought me here. God brought me to these two buffoons, and then the whole entire executive team, and to spread the good news about him,
Yeah.
to spread what he can do to your life, from being in this like depths of despair and wanting to take your own life to, dude, hold on, you're not alone, and there is a whole beautiful life that's waiting for you to come once, if you're willing. And there's a solution. Like we're the lucky ones. Like we're not terminally ill. We have to work at this thing on a daily basis, but ultimately it turns you into a beast.
And then you
And
come
the-
in here, and then you get swarmed by other people wanting to help.
Totally.
That's the whole thing. You come in
Beautiful.
to those rooms, like,
Totally.
and you get swarmed of people just wanting to help.
Yep.
It is a beautiful freaking thing.
It really is. It doesn't feel like it at the time,
No.
but then once you're able to hang in there long enough,
I mean, it can feel
Oh, I know.
it can feel annoying as fuck to be honest with you, when you are first going through it,
Ugh.
and
Yeah.
and these people are coming up and loving you, and you don't even love yourself, and you're like, get the fuck away from me, like, because that's how I felt a few times, like fuck off. But man, I'm glad I never left.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad I didn't leave.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, because look at the impact, dude. Like,
well, that's
of you.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same right back at you, dude. Because like, think about it. Even just the 1,500 skydives that you've done with people, right? That has impacted every single one of their lives, and every single one of them have left and impacted somebody else's life. And that's the ripple effect that Shane talks about, that I always talk about. It's like dropping you drop a little tiny pebble in a all glass lake. And that ripple goes across the whole entire lake. You drop that love on this world, and that ripple goes all the way around this world.
Yeah.
You know,
true.
and that is the truth.
Yeah.
You know, we can continue spreading love, or we can spread hate. You know, but you know, my choice today is to continue spreading love.
Yeah.
And you know, it seems like every day I wake up, I'm grateful that I get to get out of bed.
Yeah.
And it seems like every single day that I wake up, I have enough. You know, I have enough. Do I want more? Yeah, but that's just my earthly, insecure, you know, human existence. But other than that, man, like, I wake up every day. Every single one of us has enough right now.
Yeah.
And we need to go spread some of that enough to other people.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, Preston, man.
Yeah.
Great
Yeah, thank you
freaking
so much.
podcast.
Drained my
Yes.
energy. I'm not gonna lie, I'm drained.
How are we going to do our next
I'm
little
drained.
thing?
Amazing.
I need a nap.
We're gonna vlog Natalie
Oh yeah,
skydiving.
that's right.
Yeah, well,
Oh yeah,
for sure.
I know. I mean, like, I don't have any kids, so if I love you, mom and dad, and my brothers.
No,
It's something and it'll be on camera if I go out.